Hello. So I've tried to make this video so many times, I am screaming out loud. So I made myself a stupid little outline on this envelope so I could keep track of myself and the words coming out of my mouth, and also try to keep it more concise than me screaming for 10 minutes. So here is the start. As the title will most likely reflect, I am old. I am old. People think that I'm like a little 15-year-old, but the funny thing is, I am actually near 30. I'm 27. I've been on YouTube a long time. I started making videos when I was 12, not consistently, but, you know, just little things here and there that would get me yelled at by scary grown men, which is terrifying as a child, honestly. I was gonna say it was fun as a joke, but, like, that was scary. But I come from a very different generation of YouTube where people would just be making their, like, dumb little animations or videos for fun, and they would put them up, and everyone would just, like, meme about it and also be scary and racist for whatever reasons in the comment sections, and everyone, it's just, like, terrifying. But people weren't trying to sell you HelloFresh or Surfshark or anything. People were just kind of saying what they were saying, and they, you know, said it, and that's it. Like, they were really annoying about it. It was bad, but it was still, I feel like, more honest than now, where part 2, how it is now, where I'm like, I thought you were supposed to get smarter as you got older. I think I'm getting progressively stupider because I've given up. I'm getting more frustrated with things. I just don't care anymore. And that's part of the problem that I'm going to address in part 4, but right now we're in part 2. So right now on YouTube, I feel like all you see is really intense, in-depth video essays. Not to say I don't like the video essays. I love some of the video essays. I think they're interesting. I think they're great. I listen to them all the time. I think the problem is people are too busy making their content polished and monetizable to the point that I feel like they can't even get most of the points across. And then also I feel like everything kind of looks the same because there's a formula of video essay where you do up your set a certain way and you wear costumes and you talk a certain way, and then you get money and you get more fans because it's all built off the back of ContraPoints and H-Bomber Guy, I guess. Anyway, it's just a very mainstreamed way of things being produced and then also things being presented to the audience, and I don't necessarily love it because I think a lot of it is sugar-coated, and I think a lot of it is disguised as leftist politics, but it's actually very moderate in my opinion. A lot of it is very, like, watered down and, like, nice for the general audience because you want to make that Patreon money, which I support. I understand, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe don't package yourself as, like, a radical, like, left to blah, 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 when, like, all you're doing is kind of, I don't know, like, being very, but what about both sides? What about both sides? It's like, yeah, well, one side is trying to literally kill me and prevent me from being alive and prevent me from functioning as a human being because they don't see me as a human being. So I feel like you can't really play devil's advocate when we're at the point where, like, the devil's literally, like, making sure that not only do you not have healthcare, the devil's also making sure that you, I don't know, have a lower quality of life. So maybe don't do that. Yeah, anyway, besides centrists making me want to die as per usual, I feel like it's hard for me to find out where I fit in this big puzzle of now it's either you're, like, an ASMR channel, you're a leftist content creator who is a video essayist, or you're who's honestly doing way more pageantry than actual, like, political analysis. But that's my opinion, even though I feel like you can have both. I think you definitely can have both, but I feel like to a certain extent a lot of people are sacrificing what they're saying for how they look saying it and how they say it. But that's like I guess it's not a separate video because it's in this video. That's part of my problem. But not saying I'm the most, like, oh, guys, like, wouldn't you agree? I'm the most, like, radical leftist, like, YouTuber video essayist in the land. Like, I'm not even a video essayist, I would argue. I make topic videos sometimes, or I used to, which coming up later. But at the same time, like, I'm definitely not A in their league, I will admit. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, my costumes are really cool. Like, bitch, this is my costumes, okay? This is it. This is what you're going to get. I've been wearing this fucking sweater for the last 6 years since I bought it from the Goodwill, and it's been in probably most of my videos. It's very sad. I live like this. Anyway, it's hard for me to figure out what type of videos, because I don't want to call them content, because I feel like they really aren't, they're not the content quality that they should be, or they could be, but that's because I refuse to dance the YouTube dance, even though I'm on the platform, because I'm fucking psychotic, and I think that I can somehow, like, not be above, but somehow, like, evade the insane, I don't know, format that we're all supposed to apparently be making, to please YouTube, and to please the viewers, which honestly, like, we know how I feel about my viewers. It's like, if you're watching this video, thank you, but also, not really, because so many of my viewers have been the problem, so much of my audience has been a part of the problem of why I don't make more YouTube videos, because I don't feel like getting yelled at, and called names, and being told that I'm not actually the person that I am, like, just because, I'm not white, honestly. I don't know how else to put that. I feel like a lot of the problem with my channel and my existence is that I'm not white, so people get mad at me. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do about that? It's been like that forever, so I guess that's just what I'm going to live with until I don't feel like living with it anymore. Also known as becoming a reclusive hermit and fucking off in the internet, which I've almost done at this point, so it's like, it's funny. Anyway, something that I did very directly want to address, my presidential address, I'm very tired of myself. It's fine. Something I did want to address, which is actually very serious and important, is the fact that I think it's interesting that YouTube will block certain phrases and words in the first, whatever, few minutes of a video, or it will completely demonetize you for talking about sexual assault, pedophilia, or rape, when in fact, you could literally be a victim of all these three things, which I have been, and you will get red flagged for even speaking about it. But then if you have a video with, video with, like, the thing actually happening, but it's from a popular TV show, or essentially a video that is essentially, like, promoting pedophilia, or has, like, pedophilic undertones, or, like, has, like, undertones of, like, rape culture, like, that's totally fine, and you can't prove that it's, you know, that it's there, so we can keep monetizing it, and these people can keep making money, versus somebody literally talking about their experience, or just wanting to call a thing what it is in a video. For example, say you're analyzing a cartoon or a movie or something, and that's something that happens in the cartoon or movie. You can't directly say, oh, it was rape, it was sexual assault, pedophilia, it was grooming, whatever else. Actual grooming, not whatever the fuck people are deciding to call grooming in this moment today on TikTok, which pisses me off also, which is something that people have made video essays about that are much more articulate and well thought out than the statement I'm about to make, which is the fact that I'm tired of TikTok taking, or people on TikTok, I can't even blame the app itself, even though it does promote these things. I'm tired of people taking legitimate, like, medical terms and, like, actual things that happen in real life, and then acting like terms that directly have to do with abuse, and then taking them and being like, this thing was this thing. It's like, it's not actually that thing, dude. Like, somebody convincing you to, like, buy HelloFresh boxes in their YouTube videos is not grooming. Like, we need to calm down with that. Like, we need to actually, nobody's ever going to stop saying it now because it's such a popular thing to do, but I wish people would stop overusing legitimate terminology for abuse and then fucking up every single person in the head who has actually suffered the abuse, because they're like, oh wait, did I actually suffer that abuse, or is it because everyone else is saying, like, oh, that's why I can't do that. That really pisses me off. I can't get on TikTok for multiple reasons, and that's a big one. So all of this to say, I feel like I can't find my place on YouTube in this moment / anymore, honestly, which is why I've been making less videos along with the audience thing. And I did want to address the fact that it's like, oh, like, you want to, like, pivot your content, like, oh, you could, like, make different videos on different subjects, but you don't because you have nothing else to talk about other than butch lesbian stuff. And it's like, no, I have lots of things to talk about. I actually have a big, like, collection of vintage toys that I really enjoy. I would love to be, like, Ryan's World for 30-year-olds. And, like, talk about the toys that I collect that I really enjoy. I'd love to be exclusively a book channel where I talk about books, but the thing is, pivoting your channel will lose you followers. And people say, no, like, your loyal subscribers or whatever will, like, stay with you and, like, all this fun stuff. It's like, honestly, like, I hate to say it, they probably won't. And why would they? Because I would respect the fact that they followed me for a certain reason and certain types of videos, and then I started making different stuff, so naturally they're going to unfollow me. Like, that's fair. Like, I understand. The reason I don't make videos about butch lesbian experience anymore is not because I'm not a butch lesbian anymore, and it's not because I don't feel strongly about a lot of the topics I used to talk about. It's because I'm tired of getting racist comments on the internet. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, I'm tired of getting racist comments. I'm tired of getting transphobic comments. I'm tired of having people just talking out of their asses about things they don't even know and then claiming to be butch lesbians. And then it's like a whole thing where they're like, well, technically I'm not, but actually I am, but also I'm not. And I'm like, like, that's all I can say. Like, that's my only response, and that's the response you deserve, because I don't know what the fuck just came out of your mouth. You just fixed your little fingers and typed on your little computer something that made no sense to me, that is completely irrelevant to the topic I'm speaking about because it's part of my life. And then you want to be like, well, actually, it's like, it's okay to not be something. You realize that, right? Like, it's okay to not be part of a group. It's okay to not be identifying as certain things. Like, it's totally fine to just have your own identity and not be butch or femme, or not be anything else that you don't really feel like you are or that you don't want to be. Because it's your right as a person to be an individual, and just because you think my, like, videos are fun and cool does not mean you need to, like, conform yourself to a certain, identity just because of that. That's a whole, like, I feel like that could be its own video, but we're putting it in here because why not? Why not? This is already a giant, disgusting, non-Wiggles approved fruit salad, so apparently I'm just saying whatever. But those things really connect into why I don't make videos anymore, because I just get sick of people speaking nonsense to me. Excuse me, I can't speak right now because I'm just can't for some reason. Probably because I'm getting back on lithium, which I say every single video, but it's because I forget to take my meds when I get really stressed out, and it's a really stressful period in my life, and when I start taking them, and for some reason it scrambles the way I talk. Anyway, just people leaving feedback that does not make any sense to be on my video, and then when I delete the comments, because I'm like, I'm not even going to respond aggressively or meanly or whatever, I just don't want to address this, I get 5 more comments being like, why did you delete my comment? You're suppressing the voices of other queer people of color. And I'm like, dude, what? Make your own channel. I feel like that's the catchphrase of my channel, ironically, and I shouldn't be saying that, because it should be like, oh, I don't want competition in my own sphere. No, make your own channel, dude. Make your own channel. Make your own channel. I support you. Make your own channel, because you coming onto my channel and having a panic attack every single time I talk about my own life experience is not helping you. And if you really legitimately think that I'm not a butch lesbian because I'm too feminine and I'm too Asian and all this other stuff, okay, that's fair. You can feel however you want about me. That is not my business. That is your business. The thing is, you making it my business by commenting every 5 seconds and being rude and then having your friends comment on my channels is not helpful or productive for either of us. It really isn't. Like, at this point in my life, I think the problem is I'm not soul searching anymore. I'm not like, I don't know who I am. I'm trying to figure out my identity and you're going to figure it out with me. I'm very much like, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know how I feel. So that's it. Like, we don't need to make a giant deal out of my feelings about myself and the things that I know about myself. Like, very clearly, I know part of the problem with my videos is the fact that people are not examining themselves, and I'm like, I know who I am, and it makes them feel insecure and sad about themselves, and then they take it out on me. That's why I don't make butch lesbian topic videos anymore. I don't have time to babysit or feel like a preschool teacher to people who are probably my age, if not a little younger, because I know when you're like a little baby lesbian, all you do is like consume content by older lesbians because you need it, because it's hard to grow up like, with no, I can't even say representation, because I feel like that's another term that's been overused. It's like you literally feel like you can't exist. I get it. So I understand why younger lesbians would want to consume my videos, content, whatever way you want to put it. My thing is, the younger people are usually not the people leaving weird comments, and if they are, then I understand. It's the people who are my age and my demographic who are most likely also other butch lesbians who are white leaving weird comments on my videos. It's just kind of like, oh, so you're like giving up, you're caving. Like, no, like not even. I've just decided that it's not something I have time for in my life anymore. Like, I have to deal with my own personal life, and that's hard enough. Like, when people tell you, like, oh, it's really hard for, like trans, like, people of color who are also not straight to, like, live in America, like, that's not a metaphor. That's my experience every day, and I have to deal with people literally trying to physically hurt me because I live in a conservative area. So I'm at the point where I'm like, why would I make these videos and talk about my life and do all this stuff when, like, people click on them, but they don't actually listen. Like, they don't bother to, like, absorb the message. They just sit there and they want to get defensive about their own life, and then they want to take it out on me. Like, that's not what I have time for. So, all that to say, I feel like that's why I'm not on YouTube very much. I miss it sometimes because I like being on YouTube. I don't know why. It's just fun for me. Like, it really is like a hobby. Like, it's not something I want to take full time and do. Because, like, I know my identity is not marketable. Like, I know. Like, trust me. Right now, it is, like, marketable to be, like, ambiguously queer, but, like, I don't know, and that's about to get squished real fast because of who's coming into the Senate and Congress very soon, so, and the fucking presidency most likely very soon, so, like, I don't know, it's like you'd think that my whole identity would be marketable, but it really isn't. Especially now to, like, the younger people who want somebody more ambiguous, which ironically I am very not ambiguous in the way that I speak and the way that I think about myself and the way that I identify as a person. Like, I'm very much like I am who I am at this point, and it's not something bendable or twistable or malleable or, you know, easily manipulated by other people. Like, I'm fucking 27 at this point. I'm, like, ancient in, like, brown trans years. Like, trust me, like, I've been around the block. Like, I know a few things about myself and other people. So don't you worry about that. I think I'm going to wrap up the video here because it's already 17 minutes long, and I was going to make it 10 minutes. So that's about it. And hopefully any of this made sense. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.